Hi, welcome to the Tech Repack online training. We do provide training on application packaging using Admin Studio and Microsoft Applet. With the latest versions, there's Admin Studio 2015 and Microsoft Applet 5.1. Also provide training on Microsoft SCCM 2012.
Yeah, hi everyone. So now we will discuss what is application packaging. Okay. So application packaging, we are packaging the application. Okay. So first of all, what is an application? Application is nothing but it's a software. Okay, it is designed to perform certain functionalities. So the examples, we have a lot of applications like VLCs have, Notepad is have, MS Office, lakhs of applications are exist in the market. So that application we are going to convert into the package format. Okay, so we are packing it, that's called a package. So that package is nothing but it's an MSI, converting that application to an MSI format. So in simple terms I say that converting application to an MSI format is called application package. In simple terms I say this, as a layman you can just easily understand what is that. Okay, whatever the software you have, that's called an application. That application we are just going to convert it into an MSI format. So we basically call MSI is a package. Okay, so now I'll also tell you why we are calling it as package. Okay, first of all you just remember converting an application to an MSI is called an application packaging. So application, so what is that you always usually get in the form of? So application can be in the form of, it might be a setup.exe. Okay, sometimes even you see it might be coming in a format like VBS format. Sometimes you get application like in the format PowerShell script. Okay, you might also see some kind of loose file like a raw file, like there are some 10 to 15 folders and the user would be asking you to like copy these files into so and so location, and that is going to create an application. So that application can be in any format. It's an exe, it's a VBS, a PowerShell, a raw file. You may see any of the other way. So ultimately whatever the application you get, you are just converting that into an MSI format. So package is always an MSI. The input can be anything, but the output is only MSI. So we just want to follow some uniformity. That's where we are creating an MSI package. In now, ultimately the end of the output is an MSI. So now I call it as an application. Input can be any format, but finally the output is .msi. So now let me show you that examples what I have for the setup.exe or install VBS. If we look at have an application, it's a Wunderlist. If I want to install this Wunderlist application, I have to run this VB script. Okay, I have these many files inside of it, but install that application, I have to run this VB script. Okay, and there is another application. If you look at SQL Express, for installing this SQL Express, I just need to run this exe. Okay, so it is going to install this. I have lot many files and folder inside of it. So assume it. Right now I'm installing this SQL Express on my computer by running this. That is okay, fine. But if I ask you to run the same SQL Express on other computer, then what we should do? We have to copy this entire folder onto the other computer and start installing it. But while you making a copy from here to the other computer, right, you have to ensure that each and every file folder it's copied to the other machine. Okay, let's look at how many files and folders this SQL Express it has. You see there are some 513 files and 121 folders it has. It means while you making a copy from here to there, you have to ensure all the files and folders are copied properly. If any file or folder is missing, it means definitely that application might not work. You can't install that application. It means if it is in the form of like an exe, you have to be always very careful while you transforming. I mean, from one place to the other place, you have to ensure everything is being copied properly. So, but whereas if you are creating that to an MSI, so the final output, as I said, it is just a single MSI file. Okay. Now you won't be seeing these many number of files and folders as an output. You see only single MSI as an output. So that is what I want to ensure it. Rather having multiple files and folders with me, let me have a one single file as an output so that I can install that application easily. I can just copy this MSI onto any computer easily. Okay, I don't need to ensure whether these many files are copied, these many folders are copied. If this MSI is copied, that is enough for me. It means my application is available now. I can just simply install that MSI. So just to avoid that kind of overhead, we are converting any format into an MSI format. That is called a package. So this is the only purpose that we are converting application to an MSI? Not exactly. There are a lot many things in the background, but I just give you some of the sample things. Okay, during this conversion process, okay, we do implement some kind of customization according to the client requirement. So while you installing the setup, you have to do some kind of customization. Okay, let me explain you the kind of customization. What is that we would be implementing it. This customization can happen at the time of install, can also happen at the time of launch. Maybe you can see sometimes at the time of uninstall. So the sample example I can give you whenever I'm talking about during the install, what it would be. Let's take an example. I have an application called Notepad. Let me install it and show you what I'm talking about the customization during the installation time. You see, this is my Notepad application. It's in the form of exe now. Whenever I run it, okay, look at here. First of all, it is prompting me, you have to select a language. Okay, now this is the case. If I give you the same application in my company to number of users, I have a company. Inside my company, I have some 100 users. Every user is spread across the globe. One is from US, one is from UK and Singapore, and from different regions. So if everybody would like to install this application in Notepad, because right now it's giving an option to select a language. Definitely there is a possibility if I am familiar with an English, I may go with an English language. But if a person is installing an application from the Mexico, he might have much familiar with the Spanish. A person from the French, Japan, and some of the other languages. The person, whoever is from that particular region, he would like to definitely go with that language selection. But this is not something I want to be, because we all are working for the same company. Why can't we follow a standard language? Okay, rather going and installing the same application with different language, let's follow a single and mandatory thing, that's in English. But if you go with an exe, right now you don't have that provision to disable it. But what I do, while creating a package, I would be making it mandatory. The users are not giving any of the other options. I will make it English as a mandate. Okay, this is one type of customization. Let's move on. And here there is another customization. Assume it. The client says, okay, this application is installed into so and so folder, it's perfect, but whenever I look at the C program files and notepad, I really don't understand which version of this application is, right? So he is asking me to, why don't you add a version number along with this? This is the requirement of the client. I am just adding it, notepad++ 6.8.5. So it's easy to understand, okay, this is the version of 6.8.5. Okay, it's another requirement. Now you have the feature selection, and you have like an options given with the checkboxes, which is to be enabled and which is to be disabled. This is according to the client requirement. I enable and disable it. Okay, so assume it, this is something enable it. Okay, I enabled it, and there is something to be disabled. Okay, I disabled it. Okay, but we are 10 users, all of them started installing the same application from the different computers. So one person might be going with another option checkbox and uncheck some of the other options. Okay, I might go with all these options, but some of the other user may go with a minimal list. Other user may select this or unselect this. So when you are getting prompted with this kind of option, you may definitely get confused what is to be selected. Sometimes because of your experience you may want to go with this and the other person will go with a different option. But ultimately what is happening when we all are working for the same company, my computer is loaded with one set of configuration for the notepad and your machine is loaded with one set of configuration. But this is something I don't want to see it. I want to follow a uniqueness across my company for same application. When I install a notepad, it should be in English. It should be only with this set of options. Do not give another provision to the users, so that it's easy to maintain from the administrative point of view. Okay, if something is working for you, it works definitely for everyone. If it is failed for you, then that would definitely fail for other users. Okay, if you maintain similar set of options. Okay, so this is something I'm going to capture inside my MSI package. Then I create that MSI and give you as an output. Assume it. And there is another option, create a desktop shortcut. Okay, I create a desktop shortcut. Done. My application. This is what something I do during the install. Okay, what are the customizations that I have done? Basically, I selected an English language. There are some features to be selected. I selected them, and I did change some of the, what do you call that, the install directory. Okay, if you just take an example of this, what the changes that I did exactly. I selected English as a language, and what else I did, I just, the install directory, where is that application is going, I just selected like a C program files and notepad++, but I have also added version number. So during an installation time, this is what I did. And maybe also there is another thing, once it is installed, even you can do some post install customization. Like you just rename this application shortcut to the 6.8.5, which is there on the desktop. This is another requirement of the client, because it's easy to know what is the version of that application is. Append version number to the desktop. Okay, so during install, this is what I did. And then while I launch, maybe I want to have some of the further customization. Let's see, I'm launching this. Okay, after I launch, I see these are the options I have it. But the client says I would like to see some kind of options enabled or disabled. Let's see, settings is an option. If you go preferences, there is an option like if you click on big icons, you see the icons get changed, right? If you say like select a small icon, it goes with the small. If I want to hide it, I don't see that. Okay, but the client says I want to go with the big icons. Okay, then I select this. So manually I can do it on my computer, but how do I do it on other computers? I have some thousands of clients. I can't be doing this manually on each and every computer, right? So I create a package with these settings and I deliver it so that the users would be seeing this all the options. Got it? And in fact, you see, while I launching it, I could see there is an update popping up. But this is something the client says, no, I am not supposed to see this kind of prompt. Let's even suppress it. Okay, so I can definitely go and do that inside my MSI. But with this EXE right now, you can't do it. Maybe you can do it on this computer, but you can't do it on other computers. So every user has to do this now. So let's implement this inside your package. Okay, this is during an launching scenario. Change preferences, says to big icons, something, whatever you have some kind of option, blah blah blah, and it is asking to disable the update prompt. Okay, that is something I do at the time of launching. Maybe you also see some of the other things like at the time of uninstall. Let me show you here. If there is an application which is already running, okay, right now it's a notepad, it's already running. If I would like to remove that application, you definitely cannot remove it. You would be getting a prompt stating that that application is being used. You cannot remove it until you close that application, right? So definitely I cannot remove it. Then what should I do? Then I have to close this. I have to kill the process first, then I have to uninstall the application. But do I need to tell to my client that you have to close this application? I just admit I got a requirement from my client. This notepad is got installed on 100 computers and you have to remove that notepad package from all 100 computers, right? So, but obvious, whenever I remove a package or application, I do it over like, during the business off hours. Okay, so all the users are already left and now I'm going to remove that package from all the computers. Out of 100 computers, what happened, there are some 10 computers. Out of 100 computers, there are 10 machines not got uninstalled. Why, the reason is that notepad application is running in that machine. Okay, it's not installed on 10 machine. Why? Because that application is running in the background. Look at here, this application is open and it's running. So the 10 computers, it's not removed. But it's not the case that okay, the client is already asking me to remove the package. Why the package is not been removed from the 10 machines? They say at any cost it has to be removed. So I do not be waiting until the user comes in and log in and close that application. Then only I can schedule that uninstall. It shouldn't be that kind of scenario. Once the requirement is given, you have to make it success at any cost. So what should I do? If the process is running in the background, I have to be closing it. I have to kill this. This is something I have to do it inside my package. I have to automate this. So I kill the process and uninstall the application. Okay. And some of the other scenarios, you are able to remove the package, but you see that clean uninstall is not happen. You might be seeing some of the files and folders left on the machine. Sometimes even if you look at this, I'm just going to uninstall this Notepad application right now. Let's see, is it going to remove everything completely? It says it's completed, uninstall is completed. But you look at here, there is a shortcut, it's left on the computer. It's remained. But I don't see that application is available, it's already removed. But why the shortcut is there? It is nothing but clean uninstall is not happening. So this is, now again you have to take care inside your package. Okay. I would ensure each and every file and folder or all the registries and all the services and all the process are completely cleaned up from the computer. So it means clean uninstall we would also do it. That is something at the time of uninstall. So these are some kind of sample scenarios that we do as a customization, but in real time we do come across lot many. It's just an example I gave you right now. So now, and there is another customization, assume it, like before I install my Notepad application. Okay, I have a dependency for the Notepad. There is a dependency for Notepad plus plus. What is that dependency? It's a .NET framework. Okay, assume it. There is a .NET framework. The dependency is there. So if I install a Notepad application without .NET, my application will fail. It doesn't work. So what I have to do while I am installing the Notepad, I would like to verify whether the .NET framework exists on the computer or not. Okay. And there is another requirement stating that my Notepad is only compatible for the Windows 7. It might not work on any of the other operating system. Okay. It is compatible for Windows 7 OS only. It means if I install this Notepad on any of the other operating system, I should be getting a message. I have to give a prompt to the user, you should not be installing it on any of the other OS. Okay, let me give you that scenario. If you look at, I have an application that MSI package is already available. I am installing it. If you look at that, I want to ensure, this Notepad is only compatible on Windows 10 operating system. Okay. And if I install it right now, I am installing it on a Windows 7 operating system. Okay. So I should definitely see a error message. Let's see, I have a Notepad here. I'm installing it. So I would be definitely seeing a message. Now you look at, it says this application is only compatible on Windows 10. Because this is something I have written inside my MSI package, so that it is prompting me. So the end user would easily understand, okay, this package is compatible only for Windows 10. So they can directly install it on Windows 10. Okay. In a similar way, I would also show you that I would also get an error message if the .NET framework is not installed on the client computer. Now I'm installing the same Notepad. Assume it I'm doing it on Windows 10 now, but the .NET is missing, so I would see a message. Now you see .NET framework is not installed on this machine, so that's where you're getting a prompt. So any kind of things that I can implement with my MSI package. I can also notify the users if it is something is missing. Okay, so this is how I can implement it. Okay, right now if you look at, As I said, the whole the process, all the customization, I built it inside converting an MSI package. So right now I have an MSI package of Notepad, so which is not going to ask me to select an English language, not going to ask me to change the install directory, and even after I install my MSI package, it also going to create a desktop shortcut with the version number, and it's not going to ask me any updates. Okay. And even this uninstall scenario is also will going to take care of inside my MSI. Okay, let me show an MSI package. Look at here, you really don't see any kind of dialog box prompting to me. Yeah. Now we look at, it was really not prompted anything to select an English language, to select a install directory. Nothing is prompted to me. With a single next button, I could able to install this MSI package. You see, I wanted to have a notepad shortcut with the version number on my desktop. It is there, done. Like even if I go to the computer, under the program files, I see my notepad folder is also delivered with the version number appended. So these are the requirements that I could do it with my package. I could automate this. Now, wherever I copy this MSI to the client computer, they just need to double click and install it. They really don't need to select any of the options. So this is how I can ensure every user in my company, whenever they install a notepad, it gonna deliver the similar settings to everyone. So that's how I can manage my environment like reliable. That is called about application packaging. I hope this is something gave you a clear idea what is that an application is doing, right? So you just remember in simple terms, converting an application from any format to an MSI as an output. So we basically convert exe to an MSI, VBS or any of the other things to an MSI. And during this conversion, we would be doing some kind of customization. Like it can be at any point of time, like an install time or a launch time or an uninstall time. And you can also set up some kind of any requirements. Like if the dependency is required, you can verify is that exists on the machine or not. Even you can verify that application is meeting the OS requirements or process architecture requirements. So all this kind of customization that you can implement inside your MSI package. This is called an application packaging.
Thanks for watching this video.